Hello and welcome to the cryptocurrency news channel. I am fishing right now, and if you want to join me on my Twitter or check out my other channels in the description in the comments, I am streaming on the other channels. Check that out. But I am fishing today, fishing for not quite legendary fish, but smaller fish here. Hopefully, I will catch something while we go on this video. I am using little corn kernels right now. But anyways, Bitcoin has suddenly dipped in the last couple of hours, and it's dipped to only around $9,000, and we might go below $9,000. Why? Like the last few days, the Tether printing has been lackluster. I mean, they're still printing. For an individual person, got some corn on there. For an individual person, any time like printing, you know, tens of millions a day would be glorious. But if you're talking about the whole cryptocurrency market and Tether printing, they were printing like 100, $200 million a day a few weeks ago, and now they're only printing $10 million a day, so they can't prop it up. Now, the way that Tether props Bitcoin up is pretty easy. Bitfinex basically prints Tether, and then they use that Tether to go to Binance and then buy Bitcoin, and that way they can prop Bitcoin up. One of the reasons they were doing it, I think one of the reasons they're doing it is they're trying to prop it up for miners. Now, the old inefficient miners basically are not profitable until you reach about $13,000. There is also a CME expiry coming up, and that's basically in a few hours. And generally, if there was a CME gap above where we were, then prices should start falling right now. Even if they start falling, I'm not exactly sure how far they will actually fall this time. The sudden dip in a couple $100 basically happened over the last hour. But the thing is, the CME, I don't know if that's the whole thing. It's just that they're not printing that much Tether anymore. Going down from printing 200 million Tether a day to 10 million Tether a day affects Bitcoin price a lot. Now, there are rumors that there are some regulatory stuff like FATF rumors, and Singapore is actually going to delist Tether from their exchanges, and all FATF compliant countries eventually, like the United States and the Eurozone, will also delist um, any any stablecoin from their exchanges, which would actually be very, very devastating. Um, would be actually extremely devastating for crypto market in general, because that would actually collapse Bitcoin if they weren't able to use Tether anymore, and that would collapse the rest of the market, at least temporarily. It might be okay in the long term, but temporarily it would be really, really, really bad for Bitcoin. So there's kind of like that scare as well. Now, I don't know if Tether magic printing has been spooked off by that, but I do know that Tether magic printing and floating Bitcoin up has actually been kind of like at least more passive in the last week. And if you'll notice in the last week, Bitcoin prices have been swinging and getting gradually lower and lower. We started at 9,800, 9,700, then down to 9,600, 9,500, 9,400 yesterday, and all the way down to 9,000. Now, that combined with the CME expiry could actually force Bitcoin down some more. Now, right now, I still don't think it's enough to liquidate a lot of, I still don't think it's quite enough to actually liquidate a lot of longs. But if we fall a couple hundred points more, we could all of a sudden liquidate some longs and then go down to around maybe close to 8,000 or maybe even further. I do think Bitcoin has actually sort of decoupled from the overall stock market, at least for now. I don't think it's invulnerable to I really don't think it's actually invulnerable to the overall economy, because if housing prices are, I got one, I got one, I got one. Oh, nice little fish. I do think if housing prices drop and people start losing their homes and foreclosing, oh, nice little fish. Then I don't think people are going to buy Bitcoin when they're like foreclosing on their homes or not being able to make their car payments. And I do think some people are going to be with that. But generally, I don't actually think that cryptocurrencies will be completely decoupled from the economy. But by the looks of today, where the stock market's even or even slightly down, and Bitcoin is way, way down, it looks like the coupling of the stock market and the economy only really lasted maybe a couple of days during that initial, and now that we've decoupled. But right now with the CME expiry and Tether, I want to see where the new gaps actually form. If the new gaps actually don't form um, above and they form below, and then with the Tether stopping printing because of the FATF stuff, maybe that could be quite devastating, and that would be what I'm waiting for a major dip. So there is a like I would say there's like a 20-30% chance of a major dip. So that is my analysis. Thank you and have a nice day.